Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for December 10th. We're going to start out with the US Japanese yen pair today. This particular pair I'm expecting to move as high as 93.36 and on the lower side 92.03. Now you're going to want to look for some resistance to come into this market around 93.16, and you're going to want to look for support to come in around 92.13 in this particular pair. This pair created an inside bar today. If you notice, we have a higher high and a lower low than the previous, or the previous bar has that over the current bar that just closed. We are looking for a trade off of this to the upside, looking to buy at 93.08 and looking to exit at 93.54 for 46 pips. We are also looking for a trade to the downside if it does move lower, which I don't anticipate, but if it does move lower, look to sell short around 91.90, and we're looking to exit around 91.60 for about 30 pips. Now we also have another inside bar trade that we're looking at, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'm actually looking to trade that one, or looking for that one a little bit more than the US Japanese yen pair. There's just more room for profit in the next one we're going to talk about, so keep that in mind when we get to it. Now looking at the Euro USD pair, I am expecting this pair to move as high as 1.3022, which it has done, and as low as 127.60. Now look for some resistance around 130.65 and look for some support to come into this particular pair around 129.68. These may be a little more realistic as far as to the upside and the downside with the range. Now this pair surged higher. It almost broke previous resistance. If you see that we have previous resistance here, but it did not, and it did pull back. If this session surges higher and bounces off of it, we could see a reversal back down to this level where previous resistance through these bars, through these sessions, will become our new support. So definitely look for that bounce. If not, if it does close above it, we could see the Euro USD move higher. Now looking at the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair I'm looking for it to move between 148.99 on the high side, on the lower side 146.54. Now look for some resistance to come in around 149.18 and look for some support around 146.74. This particular pair has created an inside bar, and this was the pair that I was talking about. Today's session had a lower high and a higher low than the previous bar. Looking for a breakout to the upside, looking to buy around 149.16 and looking to exit that particular trade around 149.81. That would be a profit of 65 pips. Now to the downside, looking to sell short at 146.76 and looking to exit at 145.57, and that's a pip of a profit of 119. Now hopefully this will move to the downside. I like 119 a lot better than I do 65. If you notice, these are both higher though than the US yen trade, so you may not want to trade them both, but I've given them both to you in case you do. Now looking at the US Swiss, looking for this pair to move as high as 1.2186. Look for some resistance to come into this particular pair around 120.34. Now we've already tagged our lower range number, which was at 119.70. We went a little bit lower and then have rebounded, bounced off that, and moving a little bit higher. Do look for some resistance around 119.25 if it gets down to that point. This particular pair is moving sideways. It did move lower today, pretty much tagged previous support and bounced back off of it. So we could see this pair move back up and close right around this level for this next session around the 1.2055 level. Now, we had two trades yesterday that we looked at, the US Canadian dollar. This particular pair did not break out of our range that we had, so no trade was triggered there. We did have one triggered, and we were stopped out from this inside bar trade that we had on the New Zealand US dollar pair. We were stopped out of this trade for a 39 pip loss. As you can see, it moved higher and then pulled back against us to stop us out. So that's what happened with those two. Now, looking ahead, though, we have some news announcements coming out. We have the Australian dollar releasing their employment changes for November at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's the consensus is that it has dropped from 34.3K down to negative 15.0K, which is a significant drop, from positive into negative territory. If this does come out indeed negative and even worse than expected, it could be trouble for the Australian dollar. Now, we also have the Swiss National Bank releasing their rate decision at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. The consensus is they're going to drop by 50 basis points down from 1.00% down to 0.50%. So definitely keep an eye on that. And that about does it for today. Until tomorrow, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.